Hello and welcome to the SCA Cricket Show. I'm your host, Shazad Haq. Well, as usual, another action-packed edition. We'll have two great interviews for you, some coaching tips, and of course, the latest results. First, we start with Shane Bond. The New Zealand star was in Singapore recently for the IA-T20 Super Challenge Olymp Cup. He spoke with us in this exclusive interview.
It's been good fun. I'm lucky I've landed in a great team and we've got a real good feel in the team. We all seem to get on and enjoy giving each other a bit of stick, and we've won 2 games, so I couldn't ask for anything more. I know, it's great. I played a lot of cricket against Russell and we were friends off the field anyway, so to have him in the change room and get to catch up with someone, you know, who was a friend from a different country has been fantastic. I'm not sure. I just loved cricket from the time I was 5, and that's when I started at my local club, and I was always a fast bowler. I just loved running in and letting the ball go, and my parents always just said that it was something that I could do naturally, so that was my goal, my dream ever since I was that small, that I wanted to play for New Zealand and I wanted to be a fast bowler. I actually never thought I'd play cricket for money. It was amateur when I started, so I was only going to play because I loved it, and I still did play because I loved it. But I always saw being a policeman as the job that I'd have for my life, and I sort of gave up on the dream of playing cricket and became a policeman and was doing that, and then sort of the dream of playing for New Zealand sort of got rekindled, and I ended up doing. But no, I'm not going to go back and do it. As much as I enjoyed the job, there's no way I'm going to go back and do that now. It was amazing. I was lucky. The CEO, the boss of New Zealand Cricket, told me face to face that I was going. I think I was in shock to start with, obviously delighted, and then a little bit scared because I was going over to play Australia, who were one of the best teams of all time. So it was a combination of emotions, but yeah, joining the team was amazing. Always the best players with the prize wickets. So the Tendulkars, the Laras, the Pontings, those guys who everybody considers the best players are the most prize wickets. Well, that's good. I'd love to bowl like someone like Don Bradman, you know, all the great players who you never got a chance to. And it's the same, I'd like to have faced some of the great bowlers as a batter. I never got to face McGrath, you know, and I never got to face Shoaib, which is a good thing. But I sort of now would have liked to have in their prime. So yeah, there's heaps of players who you would, and I would have loved to have faced myself too, just to see what it was like. There were a number of players like Gilchrist, Hayden, Lara, Tendulkar were guys who you knew when they were on song, you felt like there was nowhere you could bowl to them, and it was quite intimidating, and you just sort of had to hang in there. So even though you sort of put this bravado on, yeah, there were times where you thought, oh my God, I'm in trouble today. Right. Oh, I wish I'd played more Test cricket. That's because I love Test cricket. But in terms of everything else, no, I was lucky. I mean, I got to play for 10 years. I missed chunks for injury, but that's sport. So all in all, if you had asked me, I would have had sort of played as the games that I did and had the career that I did, I'd have been more than happy. So yeah, I'm stoked. Oh, it's great. I think it's great entertainment. I think it's, for smaller nations like being here in Singapore, it's great for them because the shorter version of the game closes things up, and I hope that they expand the World Cup, bring more teams, bring more smaller nations in. So having played 2020, I love it. As a bowler, it's only an hour in the field. It's gold. I probably would have agreed with that sentiment until the World Cup, and I thought, you know, just the lead up to the World Cup and the World Cup in itself, sort of one day cricket had a bit of a renaissance, and I thought it was a great World Cup, a great final, and I think there's definitely room for all three. It's just getting the balance of games right. It's a good question. I think the New Zealand team, talent-wise, is better than probably people give it credit for. We're actually a very talented side, so we've got the ability. Our problem is usually consistency, but the beauty in tournaments is it's one-off games and you can knock teams out, and that's what we're good at. We talk a lot about just taking that step into the final. We've won the Champions Trophy and made the final, and we've made a lot of World Cup semi-finals, and I hope in my lifetime I see the boys push on and end up winning the tournament. Would be great. The competition's so even. It just takes a team to play their best on the day. We've been close on a number of times, but just not quite good enough. So yeah, New Zealand's often regarded just a good team and a team of battlers. We're actually better than that, and I think eventually, you know, turn the corner and we'll make a final. And then once you're in the final, you never know. Rugby's number one, but cricket by far and away is the number one summer game and number two sport. It's sort of like a pastime really in New Zealand. Everyone plays beach cricket, backyard cricket. People love it. And, still popular in terms of numbers, and obviously it's not helped by the weather. Winter's sort of a write-off because it's cold and wet, but in the summer, yeah, it's a hugely popular game. I think it's going to have ups and downs. We're going to have times where we have, just because we don't have a massive player pool in numbers, we're going to have our down times, and then we'll come again and have good teams. So we'll be up and down, but I still think we'll be always a competitive team international level and always in the top 8 teams. I want to be involved in cricket. I love cricket, and it's been part of my life since I was small. So, yeah, I hope to, until I decide to actually retire as an old man, that I'll be involved in cricket and in and around it. Oh, my girls played cricket this summer, but my boy likes it. He's a left-handed batter, and he's got a good throw on him already and likes to bowl. So it'd be funny to watch him grow up. It doesn't matter if it's successful. Cricket's been a great game for me because I've made a lot of friends, and I hope he can have the same experience.
Well, thanks very much to Shane Bond for that exclusive interview. Really a pleasure to have him here in Singapore. Right, coming up, we've got plenty of action for you, despite all the bad weather. Some of it from Division 2 and most of it from indoor cricket leagues.